about it with Lily. Lily. Yeah. Good Monday to everybody. Waiting on me, ain't you? Waiting on y'all too. Hey, Rhea. Hey, Victoria. Come on in the den, y'all. We got something good for you today. Yeah, come on, bring a friend and make sure you stay. Come on in the den. We're going to talk about it with Lily. It's 7 o'clock. What's up, nephew? It's just for them two. Come on in, y'all. Hey, Victoria. Yeah. Got some big ears on today. Suzette, what's up? Hey, love. Got some big ears on today. Letting y'all come on and get in. We ain't going to take too long. Come on in. Got my little pat cloth. You know I need a pat cloth. I get hot over good stuff. I only get hot over good stuff. Yeah. Come on in. What's up, Rod? Lily in the den. Lily in the den. Yep, I'm in the den, y'all. And you know when? Mondays at 7. You know exactly when I'm in the den. Now, as everybody else come on in, that's on them. You can go back and watch and replay and do what you got to do. But we're going to get going. 7:02. Hey, Sharika. All right. So, first of all, I'd like to say happy Monday to everybody. I hope that you are starting off your week great. Don't let nobody disturb what you know you plan to do. And write it out. That's what people don't know. You got to write out things sometime and check it off as it goes. And if it don't go the way you think it should go, rewrite it. Now, that's what I do. Look at all this paper. I write out everything. I ain't with the new day. Now, if it's your first time, I want to tell you welcome in the den. And the next time you come, bring a friend. And you can tag one anytime that you feel that you need to. You ready for that? Now, next thing I would like to say, t-shirts orders have been out the roof. I mean, out the roof. And I'm so very grateful to everyone that love me because I love you. Let's say that. All right? Also, let's keep going. Another thing, I'm waiting on those photos of everybody that has got a t-shirt. I ain't got one maybe 4, and I know I've sold 50 to 60 shirts in no time. What's up, sister? Can y'all please send me pics? Because I'm interested in letting the people know who love me. All right? Now, also, I'm looking for a grant writer. I got to put that out there. Looking for a grant writer. Been praying for one for 10, 12 years. And to come find out somebody do it because other people is getting it. So can somebody please, if you know yourself can do it or you know somebody that knows, I need that. Okay? Now, I also want to congratulate one of my lions in the den for baptism on Sunday, Terrell Roach. Super proud of you. Let the Lord use you. Let him use you. Yeah. Let the Lord use you. See, some people embarrassed. Talking about, you know, the Lord isn't there. Everybody got their way of living. I love the Lord. I believe in the Lord. Without him, I wouldn't be nothing. I ain't here to pull religion out of people, but I'm going to let you know where I come from and where I'm going and how I get it done. Okay? Congratulations to Rod. Proud of him for dropping in the water. Get in the water. That's what he did. He got dumped twice. I ain't never seen nobody get dumped twice. He came back up on his breath and dumped him again, boy. I enjoyed that baptism. But anyway, congratulations to you, Rod. You let the Lord use you. Don't worry about nothing behind you. Keep moving forward. Now let's talk about it with Lily. And today, we have a special guest. Let us all welcome in the den, Mr. Tyrone Scales. Yeah. Mr. Scales. In the house. Right there. Look at that.
Hello, everyone. How you Joy.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me here in your den, Lily's den.
Thank you for coming into the den.
Happy to be here.
And you can introduce yourself.
How about that? For those who may not know me, some do, some may not. Maybe your first time seeing me. My name is Tyrone Scales, and I'm a lone life resident of Rockingham County. I retired in law enforcement back in 2019 with 30 years of experience. 2 years with North Carolina Department of Correction with the maximum security juveniles. 2 years in Fayetteville, and 26 years here in Eden, here in Rockingham County, as a police officer, where I held many positions throughout my career, such as 8 years working in the detectives division, 14 years supervising, as well as I later worked my way up through the ranks as highest lieutenant on patrol.
Highest lieutenant. That means that's up there. Like you flying, so you flying somewhere. Highest. Okay. So how did your fish fry go the other day? When I came, all the fish was sold out, but I still donate.
Oh, you did. I'm telling you, we have had so many good reviews on that. Even when I went to work today, I had secretaries tell me saying that they were so amazed about the crowd of people who came out to that event. And matter of fact, she said she came out, and but yet the fish was sold out. And I'm so happy to know that the community here in Rockingham County came out in support of my event. It was such a success that we had people from Reedsville, Madison, Stoneville, all over Rockingham County to come out to personally see me, as well as support my running as officer sheriff of Rockingham County.
Officer sheriff. That is what he's running for.
Absolutely.
He is running to be the sheriff of Rockingham County.
That's right.
Look at that. See how he got you up on the screen?
You got it.
And so you to introduce yourself, and I want to know what made you decide to run for sheriff.
Well, my career started back in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1990, I sought out the career that would make me proud in two ways. One, being in law enforcement, and two, pretty much serving the community in which my family and I live. I knew that I couldn't empower others unless I empowered myself. That's why I chose law enforcement, because I wanted to be the change that people saw in me as I was out serving, protecting their community. So pretty much 2010, my mother, she invited me over to her house, and she said, "Son, what will you do? How old will you be when you retire?" And I said, "Well, Mom, I believe I'll be around 49, 50 years old." She said, "You still be fairly young. What will you do after you retire?" And I told my mother then I want to be the next sheriff of Rockingham County.
Wow.
And she smiled and told me, said, "Son, I'll vote for you because I believe in you." And so my mother, she passed away in 2013.
Right.
And with long life battle of cancer. So that gave me all the drive and determination to say, hey, I still got time to make a difference in the community that I serve. So I'm putting all my hard work into from 2010 up to this present time to prepare myself to be the next sheriff of Rockingham County. But as I go throughout the community of Rockingham County, meeting and greeting people, I'm telling them what I feel that is a pressing issue to Rockingham County. And the pressing issue that I feel like is important to me, it should be important to the communities here in Rockingham County. And they are let me get my stuff right. They are our juvenile recidivism rate is too high. Unity in our community, and the fight against opioids and heroin epidemic. And as we sit here today and talk to one another about these problems and so forth, some of you out there today may have told yourself, well, who cares? Who cares about our juveniles? Well, I care.
Me too.
We are losing our juveniles on a very fast track. And I care. As your next sheriff, I care. I want to be able to be the next sheriff who will work with our official leaders in this county to help keep our juveniles more into the classroom and less in the courtroom. I want to be able to, and why I say that, our juveniles, they don't need to be police, they need to be reached.
Reached.
They need to be reached.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what I'm talking about. Hey, I was a juvenile before. We all were.
Well, what we gonna do to reach them? Because somebody put up, what are you going to do different than the current one in position? And Alicia Smith said she'll always remember you. You gave her a first speed ticket.
All
she
right.
expensive.
All right. Well, don't hold that against me.
Right.
Okay? Don't hold that against me. But I tell people this is what I want to do. I want to be able to, like I said, I want to be able to keep our juveniles more engaged in our classroom and less in the courtroom. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to go to our school board leaders and compel to them why I feel that there's such a need to have a criminal justice program inside of our high schools, mm-hmm. not to teach our juveniles how to get out of issues, mm-hmm. but teach them that, hey, if you do these things, that you break the law and so forth. Yes, no crime should go unpunished, but yet mm-hmm. the bottom line of this, we can teach our juveniles one way to be more citizens and be more productive. So in the future, that they will be able to pick and choose the right path, as well as be able to choose a positive career where they can give back to the community as well.
And you know what? I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Go ahead.
Yeah, show them all the beauty they possess inside. That's how it should be. Give them a simple look, knowing that it needs to be a systematic change from the gate. What changes are you prepared to make immediately if you was elected to be the sheriff?
First and foremost, I want to put together the right leadership structure mm-hmm. in place. Mm-hmm. I believe having the right leadership structure in place will be able to serve the community much better. We will have in our hearts the will of the people. Mm-hmm. We'll be able to, no matter what color background you may be, we'll be able to serve them correctly. But you got to have the right leadership mm-hmm. In place. Next, I want to be able to have my department made up to look like Rockingham County. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to, so that we be able to serve the community more in a professional way, mm-hmm. as well as be more effective. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to be able to get in that office and look through deputies' training files, see what kind of training that they have received and what they need in order to be more effective mm-hmm. out there in the community. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. These are some of the changes that I want to make, but most importantly, within the next 90 to 100 days with me in office, I'm gonna make sure all my deputies has gone through some type of minority sensitivity training. Oh man, all right, look what we got. And I want to tell y'all, feel free to call in with any questions once we are done with this interview. And I'll let you know when it's time to call in, but get your stuff ready. Now, what I would like to say, my next question was, what are you planning to do to assist the minorities in our community? First, I'd like to go inside these communities and speak with community leaders, be more of a listener to see what what's going on inside this community and how law enforcement can be a help or service to that community, mm-hmm. far as things that shouldn't be inside a community happening into these communities, mm-hmm. that's tearing down these communities. Mm-hmm. And I want to help bring these communities back up. Mm-hmm. I want to also, so every kid has a reason, a need to live in a great community mm-hmm. and grow up healthy and strong. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to be. I want to go in and listen to these leaders and see what changes can be made. Also, I want to be able to like I said, recruit minority officers, more minority officers.
I was about to say, who are the leaders? Because we don't know who the leaders are. No, the leaders should be people that messes in the community, that shows love in the community, that people come to and talk to them, that trust them, right, to know that they will do whatever they can to make their change. So who are the leaders in the community? And if you don't know, Now you know.
There you go. I mean,
Mhm.
some of the leaders can be residents.
Residents, that's what we need. The
Resident
people.
leaders, because they live there.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
they live there, so they have greater concerns
Mhm.
about their community.
Mhm.
Business owners,
Mhm.
you know, they have business in their community, so
Mhm.
these things has a direct effect on communities. So if you go in, you come up with a plan, you got to work with our community leaders
Right.
in order to, so they know what's on hand, what's got to be done,
Mhm.
and so that, you know, you'll be able to be more effective in the community if you work with your leaders.
Oh, I consider myself a community leader.
All right,
I thought I said out loud. I should be rooting for something. Even though I'm rooting for Jesus, I should be rooting for something in the community where I can add on to, because I just got my little piece. If I can help other ways, we can reach some people.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell you that now.
You can do it.
I want a job.
And that's what it takes. Some positive people
Mhm.
with positive minds, positive attitude,
Mhm.
who can make a difference in people's lives,
Mhm.
young and old.
Young and
Because
old.
we all can change.
Mhm.
We all not perfect.
Mhm.
And I tell you today, I'm not perfect.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm striving to do what's right for my community.
That's good. That's what we want. Somebody said, amen. Sounds good. All right. So what are some of your personal concerns and goals pertaining to our community this day, right now? Like, what is your biggest concern? I know we're talking about heroin, doing what we need to do for the juveniles.
Right.
You ran ahead there.
Unity in our community.
Unity for sure.
Right.
Unity. Because what I'm finding out is we don't know each other.
No, we don't. But here's the thing. Like I said, I had 30 years of law enforcement, and a lot of things is up against police these days. A lot of things. And one of the things that stand out the most is the broken relationship between police and the community which they serve and protect. Why is that? Lack of trust and lack of transparency.
And lack of trying to understand where a person coming from.
That's right.
Lack of basically having a bad day when you come to work and you're looking for somebody to pick on.
That's right.
You know, because I've been through it. I'm from Urban Avenue. I'm from the Urb, baby. And I used to, all the time, boy, they'll stop me. Boy, I done been arrested 100,000 times. In Jesus' name, I'm lucky to be able to move forward. Some people get stuck just from somebody having a bad day. It messed up their whole life.
That's exactly right. And see, most of the thing, I want you to understand this too.
Come on.
You know, one of my plans is to make sure, and I want you to hear me this, I want to make sure that equal justice and equality for all Rockingham County citizens, as well as visitors that come through Rockingham County, is respected and protected, no matter what your background may be, no matter what your race, color, ethnicity, sexual orientation, religion, whatever it may be, is respected. And I also want to make sure that every one of my deputies, they clearly understand wearing that uniform is a privilege, and that privilege is given to them by the public trust.
And that's important.
That's very important.
That's important. Somebody said, what crime is most common in Rockingham County and which will take first priority, drugs, guns, or theft?
Those are big key issues. To sit here and signal out which one is more greater than others, it don't take, we can turn on our local news station. It's always full of what you just said. So it's hard for me to sit here tonight to sit here and say which one is greater or happening more than others. But make no mistake about it. Where there's drugs, there are guns. Okay? So they both go hand in hand.
And where there's drugs and guns, there's money, and that's why it end up being theft.
That would be theft.
That'd be theft. But I'm gonna tell you what though, I'm glad they know who to do that to and with. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, boy, people getting out of hand with everything. They don't have no respect. They don't even think twice. They just do whatever.
And that's the thing we having with our juveniles today. They easy to pull the trigger and not even think about the consequences. Okay. And I feel that as parents today,
Mm-hmm.
we have got to do a much better job on how we are taking care of our children.
That's right.
Okay, not saying you're doing a bad job.
Not saying that.
But we are saying that something got to be done. We shouldn't want the system to raise our children.
Mm-hmm.
We got a prison being built right now.
Wow.
In Reedsville.
Man.
Out there on business, out there on 29.
I was wondering what was out there.
Absolutely. And guess what?
It's going to be full
none of us don't want our children to go that direction.
Really don't.
We don't want that.
Mm-mm.
But yet, if the state of North Carolina can sink millions of dollars of taxpayers' money into a system like that, someone has got to ask the question, why can't we get some money in these counties to help our youth prior to them going that direction?
That's right. We got to get something.
Because that prison is set up for the state to make money.
It is.
Okay?
And I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be full of some good people. I mean, good people are sitting in jail, a bunch of them. But we as parents, we got to do better. Stop letting, when it's time to eat dinner, put your phones in your bedroom. When it's time to do homework, keep the cell phone. To be honest, my kids wouldn't have no cell phone till the weekend. And I have a little bit of time when they got it in.
Let me tell you this. When my wife and I was living in Fayetteville, you know, I was working down there. There was a news that come on at 11 o'clock. And it starts off by saying, it's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? That resonated with me. So I say that to say this. We have to know where our children are.
That's right.
We have to know who they hang with.
Right.
No matter what situation that you think that you may not handle, but you should be able to go and take care of your own, okay, before it gets to a point where you can't no longer do it. These kids, they have a need. They have a need to be loved.
And they want to be loved.
And either they're going to get loved at home or the street's going to love them.
Going to love the devil
as
out
parents, we got to pick and choose which one we want. So we got to step up and do our part.
We got to step up. And when you need help with your kids, call the that blame sheriff department or the police station and say, look, can y'all help me with my child? Now, I ain't going to say they're going to come, but we coming up with stuff like that.
They better come.
They better come.
They are public service.
They are public service.
Like I said, you can ride them there in that police car all you want to. You're not going to reach these kids.
If not,
you got to get out
and play basketball with them.
You got to get out
football with them.
Absolutely.
You know,
become a coach.
Messing up. Yeah, be a coach.
Be a coach.
Be a stepdaddy.
Absolutely.
Look here. Let me tell you something, Tyrone. Nobody likes authority figures.
Right.
I know a lot of people feel that you as a black man have arrested them. That you done did this and you done did that. You know it's the same thing when it comes to a white man arresting them too.
That's right.
They still don't like them either.
That's right.
Bottom line is you got to do your job.
Correct.
Okay? And so now basically we as the people just want the job done right.
Do it right.
Do it right and fair.
Right.
That's exactly what we want. And if we didn't have protect and serve, then Lord have mercy. So people think that they should get away with stuff and you know, they turn around and hate policing because, oh yeah, they did this and that to my cousin. No, your cousin did that to themselves. Your brother did that to themselves. Free this and free that. Help free them when you know they're out there doing certain things. But then we want to, you know, blame other people. But I ain't saying that all policing is done correctly. But I'm saying though, if you done something, we need somebody to protect us as the people. But we are the people are asking, what are you going to do different to where it is fair? We are treated as a whole.
But here's the thing. My 30 years of law enforcement, it's tough to wear that uniform. I want y'all to hear me. It was tough to wear that uniform, especially as an African-American man. Okay? Now, I would tell you this. If I had any dealings with anyone of my race or whatever who thought that, hey, I was a little harsh or whatever it might be, I want them to know this. I cannot pick and choose which laws to enforce and which laws to enforce on who. I had to do my job according to the way the crime occurred in my presence. Now Those who know me, I have given them breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some I did, some I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing about it, I cannot sit here tonight and apologize for a job that I done while I was in uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just done my job because I took swore an oath to uphold the law and the Constitution of North Carolina
Mm-hmm.
without any prejudice and bias.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go home every night knowing that in my heart I've done the best I can do.
Mm-hmm.
But however, if I have made any error to someone while I wasn't wearing that uniform,
Mm-hmm.
and you can sound that out to me, I'd be happy to apologize for that. Now, here's the thing. Is there disparity in policing our African American community?
Is
Yes. Yes.
there? Mm-hmm.
I'm going to answer that question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Statistics shows more than 10% of African American men in their 30s are either locked up in jail or they're in prison.
Mm-hmm. Or dead.
Or dead.
Mm-hmm.
Now, based on that alone, we can look at the George Floyd case. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if we see with those officers who encounter Mr. Floyd, and we can sit there and say that we still support them, then I would tell you up front, you part of the problem.
Right.
And not part of the solution.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that up front.
Mm-hmm.
Law enforcement is better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Law enforcement can be better than that. And law enforcement will be better than that when I'm the next sheriff of Rockingham County.
You better tell them, Tyrone, we need to know that. Yeah, do a little clap for that. Because that's what we want to know. That's what we want to know. Because I'm going to tell you what, my next thing was to say, what do you feel you could bring to the table to make things right for everybody to be treated the same? Training is totally different, you know, as far as using deadly force. We need to work on that deadly force because every situation ain't deadly. Okay? But I've seen a lot of situations that deadly force have been used and shouldn't have been used. And I've seen a plenty when it should have been used and was not used. So what's wrong with shooting somebody in the leg or the arm or the pinky toe instead of in the head or the heart or the chest? What can you do about that if you was to be elected?
Well, I would say, you know, law enforcement is trained to shoot center mass. Okay? That's how we are trained. Okay? And we have to use deadly force based upon what type of deadly force is used against us. Okay?
Okay, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I feel threatened. How you feel threatened 2 miles up the road?
That doesn't work.
Right.
That does not work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're within 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I tell anybody. I can't remember what year it was, but I know it was in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You know, me and another officer, we were working George Avenue Apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew we had warrants on the person. And the person said, hey, I'm not going. I don't want to go. And pretty much one thing led to another, where she later flipped out a knife and wanted to cut us. And I told the officer, hey, back up.
Right.
Keep your distance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she was mace, knife, mace, but yet I chose that route because, you know, the situation in which we were in, the environment that we was in. I said, keep your distance, okay? But yet we later was able to apprehend her without using a gun versus like, could we have done that and been justified? Sure. But we chose another route.
Yeah, you did.
Officers these days gotta have to practice de-escalation.
De-escalation.
Okay? You have to practice that, even on a routine traffic stop.
Right.
You know, the way you come up and approach a driver, no matter what the violation may be, would dictate the outcome.
That's right.
So if you go up there and you show respect, you'll get it in return.
That's right.
Now, I'm first to tell you, law enforcement should never be here and the person you're stopping is there, we always got to be up here.
Right.
And now you can de-escalate.
Right.
To where now you can use your mouth more and less the weapons and so forth.
Right. You know, I see a lot of, now we got the recordings where people can record on their phone.
That's correct.
You see a lot of officers walk up to the car, they treat that person like they did something to them. They just walk straight up like, yeah, you know what? You need to do this. You need to get out and get on the ground. And they be like, nah, I ain't got no reason to get out on the ground. Why you stop me, officer? I ain't telling you nothing. You get out the car. You are being detained.
Well, let me share this thought with everyone tonight. As a police officer, I'm just telling you on my expertise and my experience, okay? Now, I encourage whoever gets stopped by a police officer, okay? Whether you know you're right or whether you know you haven't done nothing, listen, okay? Do more of listening and less speaking, okay? And I tell you this to say this. If the officer have a right, okay, by law, they have a right to order you out of the car, and you may say, I ain't done nothing. Right. They have a right to order you out the car, like they have a right to order you back into the car. I want you to understand that. And if you refuse to do that, that's a charge called resist, delay, and obstruct.
And you know what? Can I tell you that? That's been taken advantage of by the officers as well. Absolutely. Because why would I need to get out the car if you just stopping me for a ticket or a broken back tail light or something? Right.
Now I got 3 boys. Okay. One, the oldest one I don't pretty much have to worry about. But the other ones, you know, I kind of like have to tell them, you know, if you get pulled, I want you to listen and do exactly what you are told.
That's right.
And if you felt like you were mistreated, come home. Let's talk about it.
That's right. Definitely do what they say.
If something that was not right, hey, as a parent, a father, I want to make sure that the people out there who's serving and protecting is going to do the right thing too. So I'm going to go to the bosses.
That's right.
And you know, you got to file these complaints.
That's right.
Because I'm telling you, there are good officers out there who are still doing the right thing on the job.
There really is.
Who is trying to make a difference. Okay, but there are also some bad officers out there.
Yeah, they is.
Well. And it's time for them to be exposed for who they are.
And ease on down the road. Somebody say, do sheriffs go through de-escalation training?
I think now it should be part of their yearly annual training. Okay, need to practice de-escalation. That's something that's not being taught that much in rookie school, but I would say that I do support the police reform. Okay, we need to ban all chokeholds.
No chokehold.
Okay, we need to ban them. We need to make sure our video cameras are in good working condition at all time and it's on.
All times. Because if it ain't on, you up to something.
Right. And we need to make sure we practice de-escalation, as well as we need to make sure that if we can write a ticket versus making an arrest, we need to do these things.
Yes, we do. And police officers need to have more self-care.
That's right.
Because I feel like it ain't no self-care. It's just always, you know, I'm strong. I'm bigger than everybody. They need to go have some fun. They need to have a vacation. I'll be honest, because it's just getting to be too much. Do you have CIT officers?
Yes, we do.
What does that mean to the people who don't know?
That's dealing with pretty much it's not domestic violence. It's dealing with mental. I won't say mental, to where if someone's unstable, officers who are trained, they can arrive on scene and assess the situation. They're trained to pick up on key things that the individual may be doing. At that time, they can call a number and relate these information to the health people and tell them what they see and all that. And then at that time, they can make a decision on how to move forward with that person.
Right, crisis.
Crisis, yes. I tell anybody, mental health is just as important to the body as physical health.
Very important. And officers a lot of times has killed people to come find out they had a diagnosis. Instead of them understanding it, they just felt like that was just an aggressive person. But the whole time they're afraid of what they see coming to them, because they can see demons running at them.
That's
they
right.
can see fire being shot at them, and ain't nothing even happening.
That's right.
They can sit there and get butt naked.
That's right.
And a joker just be like, "Oh, you this mug crazy!" Pow, pow, pow. That has happened.
That has happened.
Those are the changes that we as the people want to see. And we don't want nobody to just say what we want to hear. We want somebody to say what we want to hear. I'm gonna come back again and do what they say.
There you go.
That's what we at.
Say what you mean. Say what you want. Say what you say and mean what you mean.
Say what you mean and mean what you say. Look what we did.
We'll get it right in a minute.
We worked that out. We about to get it right.
Yes,
We about to get it right. And then someone asks, what do you feel like that you would do different than what's being done from the authority we have right now?
What I would do different
Mm-hmm.
is based on what I have seen and you have seen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to rebuild the trust back into our community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's first and foremost. I want to do that. I want to have, and when I'm elected as sheriff, I want to put together a diverse committee group made up of Rockingham County citizens
Mm-hmm.
who will help me oversee some of these issues that's going in these communities, happening in these communities, so that I may be able to address these issues in a timely manner and trust will be stored. I look at it like this: if teachers can shape the future one child at a time,
Mm-hmm.
me as being the next sheriff of Rockingham County, I plan on shaping Rockingham County one community at a time, and I'll hold myself accountable for the results.
And that's good. And I hold you too. I hold you.
want
Now
you.
I hold you in the headlock over something like that. Hey, and I'm gonna tell you what. When is the
Because I
election?
look at it like this, I'm telling people where I go. I may repeat myself tonight,
That's fine.
but the bottom line is this: you cannot and will not have a community without unity. That's what I'll do different when I'm as the current sheriff.
Say it one more time.
You cannot and will not have a community without unity.
I'm trying to tell you, there ain't no lie. Hey, cannot and will not, because if we don't understand each other, to be honest, we had a better. If people was to show up, let me tell you what I wrote down that I feel like should happen.
Go ahead.
I feel like that. Let's say you ride by the park or something, and you see kids out there playing.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong going out there playing with them kids.
Absolutely not.
Because them kids gonna know that when they see you, if something going wrong, they can come to you. Or if they see you coming and they doing something wrong, that you gonna get them because you cool like that. You know what I'm saying? And they can respect the fact of what you're saying, because why? You showed them some type of love.
That's right.
And that's what we messing up at. There's no love shown. It's just deadly force. It's how we feel as the people. Now, people can say what they want about eat, say what they want to say about eating. Oh, it's boring. Ain't nothing to do that. We ain't got as much killing going on around eating. So we do want a round of applause for eating that, blame. Yeah, we do. Because let me tell you, eating is not a bad place. If we could just fix these little bitty pieces, this would be a place everybody want to come. We wouldn't be called a retirement place. We'd be called the place you want to be.
That's right.
Safe place.
And raise your children.
And please raise your children. And that's what we got to come together on, is raising our children. And we need to come up with a committee of good people, literally, because that's the only way it's going to change. Because y'all can't see everything. You need to come up with a committee. Free. You know what I'm saying? Free committee. People just want to volunteer.
And people talk about money. It takes money this, money that. And the thing about it is, yes, some things do require money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the thing about it is this. Yes, it will almost scare you to know how many churches that circulate in and around these communities.
Mm-hmm.
And we won't ever make a difference. We're going to need their support.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need business support.
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna need everybody who got a stakehold in these communities to try to make a difference, so that we can nurture these kids the way they should go and put them on the path that they should go. Just like, and I'm just gonna just put out Raven Brown.
Raven Brown,
one that's doing an excellent job in the Blue Creek community.
Yes, he is. For Raven, please. Raven Brown. Raven Brown, that boy good.
You know, he's out there. He's one man, one person.
One man.
Who can not toot his own horn, but toot a horn for people like myself and other people to help him with a project that will benefit these young kids.
Oh, and Raven coming in the den. Raven
Right.
coming in the den.
Bring him on in.
Oh, I'm telling you, he coming in the den. But I have to wait till it's that spot, because he do for the community.
Absolutely.
That's next. He do all he can.
Absolutely. He does a great job.
He does. Here's another one.
And we need to get behind someone who has a positive mind and want to do the right thing for our youth.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to get behind something like that, and then you'd be surprised how big and large this thing can be.
Man, I'm with it. Enlarge your territory.
That's exactly.
I am with it. Oh, don't worry about it. We all going to get together. So one thing about that I'm learning about us, we try to do everything by ourselves, but we gotta reach out to the people you know will help you and participate with you. And I'm telling you, I love Raven. I will get in on any of that with Raven. I get in on any of that with anybody that want to do it.
But you know, we'll open our pockets real quick to something that we like.
Oh, I want you to open your pocket.
We open our pocket real quick to do something that we like.
You like the den? Can you open your pocket to the den?
You know I can. But here's the thing. The bottom line is this. We got to open our pockets for what's going to matter.
That's right.
For the future generation of our kids.
That's right. Just like the Easter egg hunt last week.
Oh, what are you talking about? Now I'm still talking about that right there. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not trying to toot your horn because I'm on your show for the first time, but I'm here to tell the truth.
Tell it.
Okay? I'm here to tell you I saw things that I've never seen before at an Easter egg hunt. Okay? Now, on that particular day, my wife and I, we went to 2 Easter egg hunts. Okay? On the same day. But for the one that I was at on yours, I'm gonna tell you something.
Tell me.
Those kids, you had those kids' attention. You had it.
Had a bunch of good kids.
But then turn around, those parents saw the good too. Because I had one parent who, I think she said her daughter was no longer around and she was raising her grandkid. She follows you. She come over from Charlotte.
Wow.
To be at your event.
Hey, girl.
Now, for her to do that, to travel far for an Easter egg event, okay, she saw good in you. Okay?
That means a lot.
For what you done for those children on that day, it don't matter how you done it.
That's
you
right.
did. But yet, the right message was sent and delivered, and them kids got it.
They got it.
They got it.
They got it.
So it was a positive thing that happened here in Eden. Here in Eden.
And that ain't it. We ain't done. We just getting started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started in here. Now, I want to say to you, for one, I want to thank you for coming into the den.
I'm glad to be here.
And I want to know, when is the election?
Of course, the primary is May 17th.
May 17th.
Okay? I'm not a part of that. Okay. I made it from the primary, but I made it to the general. Okay. The general is November the 8th. Tuesday, November the 8th.
November 8th. General.
That's a general. That's where it goes down. And I tell people today, yes, I'm out here meeting and greeting people. I'm out here showing my face. I'm out here letting people see my heart. Okay. I'm letting people know that not because I'm a black man running for office, okay? But I'm a qualified man who can run for that office and do a great job for the community. So we can talk, meet, smile up in each other's face, but what's going to make a difference when you go behind that poll, that voter's box?
That's right.
Okay, and what you check, I want you to have your heart and mind too. Okay? I tell people this. If I can't do what I said I'm going to do in 4 years, You don't have to vote me out. I'll quietly remove myself. Okay?
Get
Because
your hat,
I
your
do-
coat, and
Right.
leave.
Now I do believe
Mhm.
that being at the top, you're gonna be held accountable.
Right.
You're gonna take many shots. You're
Mhm.
gonna have many bow and arrows fired at you.
Man.
But you're gonna have a man in office
Mm-hmm.
who will be willing to, if he gotta stand, will stand alone. And I'm gonna stand on the truth.
Show up with it.
I'm
That's
gonna
all
show
we
up.
want. Show up with it.
You got it.
And I'm just gonna take a little break just to say to the people, I'm seeing all these signs in people's yards everywhere, basically saying vote for the stranger. We don't know these people
There you go.
that are running for office. We don't hear from them and we don't see them. And I'm willing to interview everybody that's on the ballot ready for a candidate. You know, just because we as the people would like to know. If you're running for any office, you need to connect with the people. Let them know what you about, where you coming from, what you stand for. They need to get out of the community, not just visiting churches. Everybody want to go to church and visit. You ain't get but the congregation. The community ain't in the church.
And they won't see you again.
Never see them
year.
again.
That's
Another whole 4 years, however long, to the next election. They go to the church. They're like, Lord, I'm going to go to this church. And I hope they pray for, and I hope they vote for me. But guess what? You ain't seen that man or that woman do anything for you, not even walk up to you and speak to you in the grocery store. I'm looking for stands to be set at Walmart, Food Line, doing community functions, things like that to get to know your people.
That's right.
Because, I mean, show up at the Bricks, show up at C Street, show up at that blame Chadwick, Stony Brook.
You in there.
You know, I mean, I do stuff for the community. I think I'm going to run for something. I think I said it already. I don't know what I'm running for, but I'm running. I'm Forrest Gump out this joke. I'm going to keep running. So, you know, the bottom line is they ain't coming to the town hall meetings. You know, that's all I keep hearing about. You know, it's the town hall meeting coming up. Who coming to the town hall meeting? They already don't feel welcome there. Not saying nothing against the town hall, but the town hall need to bring the meeting outside into that big old area they got with the microphones. People bring their picnic chairs, and then people get up there and speak and let us know who they are and what they promising to do. Because it's not fair that we go to the polls and we really just go by what they had the last time. So I just choose them. Or that name look good. I choose that person. We can't keep doing it as the people because we are the ones that make the decision. That's what we falling down at. We don't understand that we are the people.
That's right. You have, now I'll be honest with you, Rockham County, it's a red county.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest with you, it's a red county.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, can it be different?
Yes,
I
it
have
can.
had people to say, how will you beat the incumbent?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I tell them a few things. One, Gifford County is much bigger than Rockham County.
Mm-hmm.
It has a ton more people. And no one thought that B.J. Barnes would be beat out.
Mm.
Guess what? The people in that county said enough is enough.
Mm.
And they saw a difference. And they made their vote count.
Wow.
Why is I'm saying this to you all?
Mm.
If you saw so much going on in these counties, in Rockham County,
Mm-hmm.
and you can say it's enough is enough, then you'll side with what I'm feeling tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't all have to get on a plane and fly down to the borders and see unwelcome activity coming across.
Right.
Because when we get there, guess what? We can't do nothing about it no way.
Right.
But get on that plane, fly back, and say, hey, what did we accomplish?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
We got holes right here in Rockham County that we can fix together.
Right.
Holes such as juvenile recidivism rate.
Mm-hmm.
We got holes that we can fix as unity in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And we got holes that we can fix with our heroin and opioids addiction.
Mm.
I want to be that next sheriff that don't mind going down to UNC Rockingham, better known as Moorhead Hospital, and see why we have 2 floors, 3rd and 4th floor, that has been vacant since 2019. Why can't we transition one of those floors into a ward that will be able to serve our community, the need of our people?
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is.
I did not know that.
But, you know, I have to be at the top because nobody's not going to listen to you when you're not.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? But you got to be accountable at the top. So I have strong drive to do the will of the people.
We need a blue wave.
If we gotta have it. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Most, and I won't say most, the Republicans, they view things different, of course, but yet it don't matter how that party is, they will stay straight.
Right.
Okay. But here's the thing. I'm happy to know that I do have some Republican people who's on board behind me.
That's good.
Who see beyond that party and want to do the right thing. Who believe and trust in my abilities. So I want you all, come November, I want you all to do the right thing. Vote with your heart, not what you heard.
Vote with your heart.
And if you do these things, we'll make a difference come November.
Come November, right before December.
There you go.
You hear me? A merry, have a holly jolly Christmas. And I'm gonna say one more thing. Then I'm gonna be done. Is that don't sit back and complain about who end up in office.
That's right.
And because we talk a lot about well, it need to be voting. It don't matter if I vote or not. This and that. It matters. But the thing is, it matters that you know who you voting for. Okay? It ain't the itty meeny mighty mo, catch this name by his toe. If I vote for him, I hope to know that he gonna do the right thing for sure. I got that in me. I got that in me.
You got it.
So bottom line is, I want to tell you that I'm proud of you. I appreciate you coming in the den because you want the people to know you.
Absolutely.
You reached out.
I did.
And I reached out.
That's what it's about.
And we're going to keep reaching.
We're going to do it. I don't want this night to be the only night.
Oh, it would not be the only night.
And I tell anybody, hey, I don't run from anything. Okay? I put my integrity on the line. Okay? Because that's how I pretty much govern myself. I set higher standards for my own self to see if I can measure up to that.
Right.
Okay? So all I'm saying is you all, I'm sure you may have some questions down the road. Okay? If you see me, feel free to talk to me. I may not know the answer right then, but I will guarantee I'll get you the answer. Okay? It's time to show transparency. And it's time. It's now.
Time is now. And look, if you want to call in, you got any questions, you got any concerns, the time is now. Like he just said, to call in and, get out your respectful piece of what you want to know. Only respectful people. Now, I ain't saying you can't call in and be different, but if you do, you're going to get hung up on. I thought I'd tell you. You want to know why? Because in the den, there's no judgment, and we don't do that. If you don't like a person, just don't like a person. If you love a person, you call and you encourage it. That's just what we do in the den. Lily in the den. So I'm just proud to, and I ain't even into politics and stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't never been into it. But now that I'm grown, I'm just getting tired of having to go try and vote, and I don't even know who I'm voting for. And then I saw your name. I was like, well, I know Tyrone. So maybe, he'll be willing to come in and let it be known. And I feel like that. And if y'all know other people that are running for different things, tell them to call me because we need to interview them.
There you go.
I bring the den to the streets. We want to know who they are. I come to the Rockingham County Town Hall on them mugs.
There you go.
I mean, if that's what they really want to do, I feel like they should come out and speak to the people before being voted for. You should not be able to be on the ballot until you speak to your community, because it's important for your community to know who you are.
That's exactly right. I mean, like I said, I won't shy away from anything. Okay? I think, one, I'm not going to play checkers or chess with people's votes. Okay? I want to do the right thing, and I want them to see that I'm doing the right thing if you trust me with your vote.
It's too easy to get in.
That's exactly right.
It's too easy to get in and people not knowing you. You should never be able to get in and we don't know who that is. That's like somebody knocking on your door. If you don't know, but who is this?
You don't let me in.
Yeah, Jeffrey who? Jeffrey, you know who I am, man. I don't know. You better get away from my house. That's how they need to be in the vote.
That's right.
But let me see. Everybody, let me see. You said that Saturday. Oh, there's Jamie Galloway on here looking at us.
All right.
If you get stopped by an officer, listen. The officer has the right to order you to get out of the car as well as get in the car. Now, one more thing before it's time to go is a lot of people are afraid to get out the car because they can make one little black move. They may have cerebral palsy or anything and their body jerk and stuff like that, and they think they're getting the gun. So if they ask for the chief or somebody bigger than that, shouldn't that happen instead of them just getting out? But like, can you please call this or that person?
Sometimes that don't happen, okay? But a good officer, like I said, there are good officers out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was out there. If I saw a lot of movement inside a car, I'm not going to stand out there and talk amongst 3 or 4 people who sit in the car. That was a lot of movement.
Right.
I'm going to ask the driver, hey, I need to speak to you
Mm-hmm.
in the back where my car is.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's safety reason.
Right.
Okay. And I want you all to understand that. Right, wrong, and different. I want you to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do what you ask. There's nothing wrong with having your phone and just put it on the dash.
Right.
And hit record.
Right.
But do what you're asked to do.
Okay.
At least you can capture the conversation that would happen.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not listening can escalate things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whether you want the supervisor or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if time is on the officer side, yeah, they should get the supervisor.
Right.
But sometimes time is not on the officer side where he got to make a decision.
Right.
Whether it's going to be dictated upon that driver.
I hope it ain't nobody on steroids that we worried about, because most be out there on roids, man. I ain't gonna even lie. We got on here to please visit our website, scalesforrockingham.com. And we also have a Facebook, and we have a question from Ms. Smith. Domestic violence happens more than it should. Any plans with domestic violence support and intervention program? And that's another topic I'm gonna have on here is domestic violence. It was a young lady that got killed, 26 years old, just on the news last week. Did you see that?
I did.
Please tell me how you feel like that went wrong.
I tell anybody, domestic violence is something that can go bad quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a situation where an officer want to get in and get out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Try to make the best decision at that time and get out. Because you can arrest the husband. I have seen where the wife jumps on your back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she needed help at the time, but that ain't what she wanted by her husband going out in handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But what Lily said that we all probably saw on TV, I believe that they went down to the precincts to discuss whatever. I think it's about a gun permit or something of that effect. To where less than an hour later, the officer, fire department are going out to their home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, something triggered that family. Something has happened on many occasions for something to get that bad.
She needed protection in her mind.
Absolutely.
She wouldn't ask for the protection.
You have got to, as officers, you got to take time really.
She called a couple of times
to assess what you see.
Right.
And make a good sound decision.
Right.
Because the law is clear.
Mm-hmm.
The law didn't tell officers that you may arrest.
Right.
If you see signs of physical assault.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or you can determine who the aggressor
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
The law say to an officer, you shall arrest.
Well, I'm seeing it where a man was being hit on. He got it on camera and everything, and the officer did not arrest the woman. Just saw this a couple weeks ago online. And you know why? Because say he didn't have no scratches or nothing red was on the woman smacked the man.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be enough. Because if they say that the man smacked the woman, so because you know, men getting it real bad.
That's
men
right.
getting abused and killed and poisoned and the whole nine.
That's right. Do men suffer through domestic abuse? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the first to tell anyone. I won't give the location,
Mm-hmm.
but I was called. And I saw this man. He was intoxicated.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't call. The woman called.
Mm-hmm.
And when I arrived and another officer arrived, we went in only to find this man with no shirt on his body, but had what we can tell belt buckle marks all across his body.
She beat him.
And to ask him what happened, he gonna say, "Well, ask her."
Right.
He don't want to tell what happened. He said, "Ask her."
Mm-hmm.
And what did she say? "Yeah, I beat him."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Man, what you beat him with?" She went and hauled that home, got the belt buckle. What she beat him with. And then she said, "I beat him."
I beat him in front of you.
Excuse my language. I beat him because he didn't want to have sex with me.
Oh man,
Something like that.
Wow.
Caused her to go to jail. Okay.
Mm.
So all I'm saying is this: domestic violence is something that is real.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if it's one time or multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is affected by it,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be as simple as children in the home that they see that's going on, and they are wanting help for their parent. So all I'm saying, anybody who's going through or experiencing domestic violence, don't be afraid. Okay, you got to find courage to do the right thing, and let the system help you.
But can I break in on that right quick?
Sure.
And I know that I'm going over, but that's all right because we talking about something worth talking about. Over ain't nothing. Okay, so I know kids that go to school,
right,
and they tell the counselors what's going on. You know, how the stepdad or the boyfriend or the mama, however, beating on whoever, and the social workers will go out, check the home, let the abusive person know the report. They find nothing because they didn't look hard enough. They just went by what the abuser said. Now their kid getting beat up or murdered when nothing got done. We got to fix that piece right there. You know, if nothing else, you take the kids out the home until we find out. Don't just go by that one altercation that person say everything is great. We got to start doing better with that.
I know this when I was working with Eden. We had a form that we had to fill out outside of a regular report. And we call it a DVR report, meaning domestic violence report. And on that report, we have to make a note. It's a questionnaire. Were kids in the home? And if so, how many? Okay, and their ages. Once we put all that in that form, then it's supposed to be submitted, of course, to the social workers, so that somebody can follow up with these children as well.
Right.
Okay, because they see things that we don't see.
Right.
Okay, we have to do what the law tells us to do, but yet these kids they suffering through these issues.
Right.
And you'd be surprised if a young man growing up in a home and that's all he see is his daddy beating up on mama, and he get in a mature age, he think that's right.
Yeah, he do.
He would think that's right. That this is normal, and we got to change that narrative to let them know that no, this is not right.
And so, mama beating up on daddy and the kids too.
Absolutely.
Putting them in scalding hot water and putting them in freezers and murdering and you know it's just a lot. I'm just gonna be honest, it's a lot, and we can't give every answer. Like you said, if I ain't got the answer right now, you know I try to get it to you or whatever. We just first we gotta pray about it. And then we got to start making moves when we're spoken to.
Correct.
Okay?
That's correct.
So, I'm going to tell you what, man. I wish you the best of luck for November 8th, the general election is what we call it, right?
That's right, general election, November 8th. Keep
on getting out there and letting everybody know who you are. I pray to God that a lot of people see you. This video will continue to go. It'll never stop, so you can get way more views. And if you can, you know, tell another person that's running for this and that and so on and so forth. Holler at me. Because we want to know who you are because it's going to be hard for you to vote, to get your vote in this year. Because we're doing it different. I'm going to tell you that now. We're doing it different this year.
You got to be able to trust who you're voting for. And I want the people to see me more out in the community. So on tonight, I don't see who you are, but yet when you see me, speak to me out in the community. Hey, you know, I know who you are. You know, I got this question and all this kind of stuff. I want to earn your trust. You got a question? Ask me. I want to earn your trust. Okay, because that's the most important thing. I want to earn your vote. I don't, like I said, I don't want to sit here and throw this and that. 7, 8 questions that I would do.
Right.
Because I'm just one man.
That's right.
Okay, that's why it's just only three things, only three that I started my campaign with, and I'm going to finish my campaign with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to change. I'm not going to side away from it. I will go head on with whoever about those issues, because those issues are affecting Rockingham County.
Yeah, it is. And we love the Garden of Eden.
There you go.
Hey, I know you saw my big old sign out there. I'm going to go out to Eden, man. I'm going to tell you that now. I'm straight going to Eden.
That's right.
I'm going to tell you what, I appreciate you again coming into the den. Anybody need to get in touch with Mr. Scales, please contact www.scalesforrockingham.co platform HTML. We got a whole lot of things to get in touch with you with. Or you just go to Facebook and put in.
You go to Facebook, let's put in Tyrone for sheriff. You'll see it pop up. There you'll see all my credentials.
Mm-hmm.
Where the other candidates, they don't have theirs. Okay?
Wow.
I got mine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm telling you all what make me qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I've been through a whole lot. Okay? And I don't mind standing and looking at people who hold high ranked position in the face and tell them when they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm known to fight truth to power, something that people don't like. But I will stand on transparency. And what this county will get is a transparent sheriff.
All right, I tell you what, let's give a round of applause to Scales. Even wanting to make a difference. I tell you what, hi, I am with Scales from Rockingham County Sheriff Campaign. If you have questions that require a lot of conversation and thoughts, please give us a call. We can schedule a time, Mr. Scales, to speak with you specifically about your concerns. Thank you, Ms. Williams.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, she's part of my campaign. She does a great job. She keeps me in the know. She pretty much helped the campaign to stay on task. Mm-hmm. And we pretty much appreciate people who, sometimes say, I'm tired sometimes, but she give me that nudge that, hey, you need to go out and do this.
That's right.
My wife and I, we just go out and do it.
Yeah, your jolly wife. Come on up here, Miss Scales. They can see your jolly face. She here with him now. She everywhere he goes. She ain't gonna let him do nothing that he ain't got no business. Put your jolly face in the place. There you go. Miss Scales.
32 years.
32 years, boy. That's some good stuff.
Yes, it is.
That's some structure in that.
It gotta be.
And you ain't looking like you done broke down at all.
I tell anybody, I ain't got no 30. I ain't got 32 years to give nobody else, so that's my wife.
Hey, you got that right, and that's a blessing. That shows commitment, and that's important to the people.
That's right.
Now, y'all know what we about to do. We about to start looking at ourselves and figuring out what we need to do to help our community and help the leaders that's on the way. Until then, may the Lord watch between me and thee while we absent one from another. Amen. Amen. Love y'all. Amen.